Hello everyone, and welcome back to a community update vlog for the Pixel Biology channel. And it has been a while since we've done one of these, so I'm actually like weirdly nervous, like oh gosh, oh my goodness, did I arrange everything in the background well enough? I have my little autumn display so you guys can see what I've been up to from the farmer's market, and our wolf that was sent in snail mail, and the mugs that I got Chips and I to celebrate autumn. This is actually a little mushroom sculpture, like a wood carving that I got from the Heritage Festival with my family. Gosh, like 8, 9, who knows, maybe 11 years ago. I'm not really sure. It was quite a while ago. Oh yeah, and this is a card from my mommy. My mom sent this card to me in the mail. I thought it was really cute. So I got that little Happy Halloween card. See, it says Happy Halloween. I love you kids from my mom. I thought that was really fun. So it's over here on display too. But yeah, it's been a while since we've had a community update vlog, and it's just been really busy. And that's kind of what these vlogs are for, is so that I can tell you guys what's been going on in my life, what I think about what's going on the channel, what games I'm really loving, like what I'm really looking forward to sharing with you, and so that I can hear your feedback. These are the blogs. These are the ones that you want to make sure to leave the comments on. If you look over any of our videos right now, you'll see that probably 3/4 of the comments start with where is, and then list off series that I've played before, series that are on hiatus, series that are currently going on, series that just released 2 hours ago, series that I've never played. People really want to see a whole bunch of stuff, and it's a little overwhelming, but it's really awesome to be able to see what people are really eager to enjoy. And the comments, like I say again and again, are how I determine kind of how to set the course for the next month, because I'm starting to go by months, which we talked about a few community update vlogs ago, doing those themed months, and I haven't really carried through on that as strongly in September, or October, excuse me, as I did in September, but we'll talk about why in just a minute too. So yeah, I have some things to talk about to you guys. Foremost is just like the where is questions, and that's what these videos are for. So you guys can leave like your comments on what you would like to see. I use these update vlogs because I figure the people who really want to see certain things will watch the update vlogs and communicate with me, and so that's what these are for, so that I can figure out like how to chart where our channel will go from here. It's really scary actually. Oh, and by the way, we reached 90,000 subscribers, which is amazing, which is really humbling and amazing. And I already have my 80,000 subscriber plant sitting on my desk, and I take care of it. It doesn't have any of its little goldfish flowers right now. I think it's out of a flowering time, but it's a beautiful epitite that lives in a actual like log. It's really, really cute. You guys have seen it in the past update vlogs too, my goldfish plant. That's actually what it's called too. And I haven't gotten a 90,000 subscriber plant yet, but I may. So I'll be talking to Chips about that, and we may be going out and getting some new plants. You may notice the living wall is kind of changed up a little bit. The sedum just didn't really make it, so I got a new philodendron, and my little lemur from the Duke Lemur Research Center is hanging out up there. So yeah, it's been busy. I guess I'll get that out of the way first. It's been busy. Chips and I have been shifting into kind of the autumn mode of the season. The trees look amazing right now. This is actually a beautiful red leaf from one of the trees outside. Look at how gorgeous that is. And I brought it home and pressed it. I found that, well, actually, Chips' mom was visiting. So we had family visiting that we were hanging out with, and that took up a little bit of time. We had another small fire in the basement because it turns out it wasn't actually the dryer that we had that was causing problems. It was the fact that they never cleaned out the dryer vents. And so the dryer vents, the interior of them, the lint kind of started catching on fire, but it burned off. Like Chips and I, when we figured out what was happening, by the time we got down there and we had the fire extinguisher, which they finally installed, in the basement with us, just as we were starting to reach the point of, okay, we need to call somebody, we need to do some stuff, it burned off. But definitely took up a couple very exciting hours of then sitting and staring nervously as your clothes are like still in the dryer, and you're like, so is this gonna catch fire? And so he and I were just like sitting there waiting to see if our clothes were gonna catch fire in the dryer or not, with the fire extinguisher next to us and books in our lap for like an hour and a half. It was ridiculous. But that happened, and it's just been really exhaustingly busy. You guys know some of the projects that I've had working on in the background, like the UHC, which is so exciting. Only my, I think, 3rd ever UHC, and definitely my 2nd one of the year. So my 2nd one with the UHC group, and it was so fun. And you guys are still seeing the episodes come out, and it's not over yet. So that excitement is still going to be parceled out for quite a bit. It's going to be really cool to see what you guys think. And yeah, it's just been really busy. So to answer the question of where is this series? Where's Warriors is a big one. Where's Wolf Quest is a big one. I'll try to go through those things, but I'll just kind of do like a blanket statement of I'm so tired. I'm so tired, and a lot of our audience who watches the update vlogs understands I'm just one person doing the best I can, but a lot of our audience now is younger. Our audience has really shifted as we've grown. They're a lot younger, and they don't quite understand that every like 20-minute video you see usually has anywhere from at least an hour to 2 hours to 4, depending on the kind of video it is behind it. So take that one video you've seen and like multiply that by 4 for the amount of time it takes a YouTuber to go from creating to like editing to processing to uploading to like making sure all of the thumbnails and the description and everything is all lined up. That's a lot of time. And I don't think a lot of our younger audience either knows that or really cares. And so I'll admit it is a little discouraging to look in comments now and then, and I'm so, like, you have to remind yourself to be excited that people want to see more. That's really important. But it is a very disconcerting sort of feeling to go to see what people think about a video, or to go to see if they're enjoying the series, and 3/4, 2/3 of all the comments are just, where's another series? Where's a different series? Where's this series? And then I'll explain, well, we have 14 active series. I'll even try to slow down and explain to some people. We've got 14 active series going on right now. I'm putting out often up to 6 or 7 videos a day. I'm really tired. I don't think I can keep up this pace. And they'll be like, oh, okay, that's cool. By the way, can you start a Let's Play on this, this, and this? And it's just like, I'm a human. I'm a person. Hi, my name's Seri. I'm doing the best I can, but you guys, this is just not sustainable in the long run. And a lot of people say that they're shocked by how many videos we put out. But for those of you who are new and you go, Seri, why? Why do you do that to yourself? It's about taking care of my family. I am a full-time YouTuber, and I am the main breadwinner for my family. Both my parents are disabled, and they're taking care of my younger brothers, and so they often need a lot of significant help when I've got it to give them. And so the reason I put out so many videos is because the more videos you make, the more views you get, and then the more money you can get in the long run. And that's what I need to take care of everybody. So that's why we have so many. But it's been increasingly clear that I can't keep up the pace we're at, especially with so many different series that everybody are asking for, and more of all sorts of different series. So for those of you who watch the update vlogs who are always worried about my health and worried about, especially because I do have an autoimmune disorder, so my health can be like this. It can tank for a week, 2 weeks, a month without warning, which really, really sucks. So for a lot of you guys who are like, Seri, please, I know you have to like do X amount to meet Y bills, but please find some balance. I want to let you guys know, I think it's finally here. I think the time has finally come to really put my foot down and explain I love you guys so much. I literally give everything I can. I wake up, first thing I do in the morning is start working on the channel. Last thing I do at night, I record until my voice can't hold out anymore, and I go to bed. And I need to start, like I mentioned before, fitting in more room for chips and fitting in more room for refilling my cup. If you've ever heard that phrase, refilling your, not only my actual teacup, which is very cute. This is a gift from Chips' mom right here. It's very lovely. It's got some delicious pumpkin tea in it. It's savory. It doesn't have peach tea because the peach tea isn't sold in the grocery stores here, and that makes me very unhappy. But I'm working on trying to find a source of peach tea. I miss it. I miss my Celestial Seasonings peach tea. I would drink that like 2 boxes a month, and now I don't have any of it. And there's a really interesting bird in the bird feeder. Okay. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Cool birds in my bird feeder are a worthy reason to get distracted. But yeah, we've had a lot of people like ask, where's Warriors, for instance? And you guys, Warriors takes a lot of work, but I would hope I would be able to do the amount of work it takes for Warriors at least a couple times a week. And I'm finding that I'm so exhausted from trying to maintain so many different series that I don't have what you need in terms of the creative space, the creative mental space, let alone the actual physical time to sit down and figure out a whole bunch of things that need to happen in order to produce the upcoming Warriors. A whole bunch of things with the random generators, being able to get up some of the like cat profiles, explaining the family trees, explaining like current drama in this arc of like the series. I haven't been able to do any of those things because there's no time. I'm recording so many different things, and so that's not only is the problem I'm recording so many different things of other series, but I don't have the sense of mental refreshment that you need to be able to do that kind of work, the writing work, the creative work, where it's more than just showing up. Warriors is a lot more than just showing up and doing stuff. Zoo crafting, I can get away with doing that because there's so much to do and we've got lists of things to do. That's easy. But Warriors has to be random generators rolled, it has to be creative decisions made, it has to be plots considered. And I've found that even if I do manage to block off a few hours of time in my day to try to work on it, it's like you open up your mental like door and the whole room of stuff you needed to work with is empty because you're so mentally exhausted. And you're going, wait, where's my paint? Where's my like books? Everything I was going to work with to make this episode is gone. Why is this room empty? Who robbed my creative vault? And I did. I robbed my creative vault by exhausting myself. And that's what I'm working on right now. So Warriors is never going to be canceled, I don't think. I love it. It's honestly, when I sit down and think about it, probably one of the top things that I am most proud of having produced on our channel. But I need a little bit more breathing space in order to get Warriors done. And I can't have that when I'm so piled up on different series and so like trying to keep up with all the requests of bringing this back and bringing this back and doing a spin-off of this and checking this out. And I realize I'm just going to have to start putting my foot down. And I don't know, for those of you who have been around, excuse you, that's bird water. It doesn't need to be in my tea. I'm just going to stick my tea over here. Did you see him? It's Aussie. I taken a bath up there, splitting water down onto my tea. That's not, I don't want to mix bird water in my tea. Thank you very much. Gross. But yeah, for those of you who have been around for a very long time, you guys know that in the past, it's really been a community-driven place to be. I love the vibe of sharing adventures that you guys want to see. And so I've always kept my ear to the ground and I've always gone, hey, I have an extra couple hours tonight. People really want to see Slime Rancher. I'll see if I can get an extra Slime Rancher out just because you guys are awesome and I love what we do. And the thing is, I can't really keep doing that anymore on that level where it's like, oh, there's one request for Disco Zoo. I should take out the hour it takes to like record, process, upload, and manage Disco Zoo episode. And it's really, really fun to be able to do that kind of spur of the moment stuff for the community. But then, like I said, 3/4 of all the comments on every video now tend to revolve around wanting more of a whole bunch of different series. And I realize that part of my mental exhaustion is the feeling of not being able, it makes you feel like that's what it is. It's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. It's an exciting thing. Chips always points out that just means people want to see more. And that's a great thing to be able to know they want to have more adventures together. The only thing about it is, though, is it makes you feel like you aren't making them happy with what you're already producing. It makes you feel like you're letting them down in some way because they're asking for this other thing on this thing that they were just asking for a moment ago, and now here it is, but they're like, okay, this is great, but where's Wolf Quest? Okay, this is great, but where's Warriors? Okay, this is great, but where is? By the way, start this series. By the way, I want another season of that series. And I think it's just because we've had a big shift in our community, and I've actually had a lot of interesting emails with some of our long-term older members that have talked to me about how it feels different. And I'm not saying I don't love all of our young viewers. I know you guys are watching too. I do. But the community vibe has changed, and I realize that it's kind of going from feeling like we're having a big like camping sleepover party in my backyard to having to be a more organized, formal thing where I have to like turn down certain requests and I have to just stay focused, which is always something I've struggled with because there's so many things I want to try out and so many things I want to do, but I have to do things more organized, stay focused, and prepare an environment for you guys. And I'm still going to always listen to what the requests are. I'm still going to see what really makes you guys happy and excited. I still love sharing these adventures with you, but I realized to be able to provide the things that really do make me feel very proud at the end of the day, making more Warriors, making sure that zoo crafting is regular, being able to do some of our big projects that we've wanted to do for literal years in zoo crafting, finally, being able to get like a new season of The Sims 4 up and going with an organized Symboler so you guys can see profiles and you can click on links and look at family trees. For all of that, if I'm going to have the space and the actual physical time blocked out to do that, I'm going to have to be more formal and more organized with what comes out when. And that sucks on some level because it's so much fun just to see like one person go, man, I love Wolf Quest, and be like, yeah, okay, I'll make one, and just like whip it up right there. And I don't think I can do that anymore. And that really isn't it's a phooey situation. Phooey. That's all I have to say to that. But also, I guess it's just the reality of kind of like where we're at. So what I'm trying to explain to you guys is I'm aware of how things have changed. I don't know if any of this makes sense to you guys. For me as a YouTuber, I didn't know this was where the evolution of like all of it goes. I didn't understand that like you really would start getting to the point where you physically can't answer all comments. I remember being a small channel, like back in the thousands, and being like, oh yeah, I can answer every single comment. It takes me like 2 hours a day, but why wouldn't I do that? I love my community. And then you look at the people who are really big and they don't comment, and you think that that's because they don't care. And it turns out that it's because it's physically impossible to do that. And it turns out that it's because it's very draining to do that. Because the bigger you get, the more you start sifting through a lot more hate, or you're just exhausted, because there is an element of exhaustion. It's a good thing, always a good thing, to be asked, like, where's a series I really want to see in a nice way? But you really do. When it's not on an organized video, like this is meant for that. This video is meant for those comments. And when it's on something else and you worked really hard on a video and you put it out and like 3/4 of all the comments don't even reference what they're watching. They just want like other things. It wears you out on an emotional level that I didn't even know existed till I got here. And also I didn't know that it would be so hard. You know, I'm going to tell you guys a little story. When I was in high school, I was in a creative writing class and I loved it. But I was one of the, even though I was so creative and I was often told by my teacher that I had a lot of really great, unique ideas that nobody else did, I was one of the least productive members of that group because I could never just pick one idea and spend like the 2 months nurturing it to fruition because I was so worried about all the other ideas that I wanted to make sure also managed to come along. And so I would spend so much time trying to focus on multiple ideas that the one, like none of them flourished. None of them grew. It was like, instead of going, okay, here's my idea seed and working with it so that it could grow into a big plant, I would just be very excited about like this idea seed and this one and this one and this one and this one. And so I would try to take care of all of them and they would just go bonk. They wouldn't go the way they're supposed to. So then I could present a finished product to my teacher. And he told me that I really needed to change that. And it was really hard because I didn't really listen to him. I just thought that he didn't work hard enough, or I thought that he wasn't creative enough. I really did. I was a sassy teenager. So I thought that that was a sign of a flaw or a weakness to have to put away a creative project that you really love to focus on another one. And I'm realizing all these years later, 10 years later, 10, 11 years later, I'm like, oh, he was right. Oh, that's how it works. And it's kind of the same thing in a garden. And I, until very recently, would put a whole bunch of seeds into my garden bed. And then I wouldn't go through and pull out the seedlings. I didn't like thinning the seedlings because I thought all of the seedlings should have a chance at life. They're all so cool. They could all grow into plants. And what happened with all those seedlings that I would sprinkle into a pot and like leave them all to grow, they'd all die because they would compete for resources and I wouldn't end up with a single flower in the end. And that is the perfect metaphor for what I'm trying to explain is kind of happening. I've got so many projects and I have so many things and I have such a deep desire to be able to see you guys happy, to share happiness with you and to see you guys be happy, that I'm not seeing, in my personal opinion, from my point of view, that sense of, oh, good, this particular project has flourished. And I actually have some really important ideas for how I'm going to change how I do everything and shape the channel's future. And I'll just kind of tell you briefly on the next week, on our next community update vlog, because I do want to start doing these weekly again. It's really important to feel like we have that sense of connection going on. But next week, I'll tell you more details. But for now, I want to let you guys know that we're going to start having more defined seasons. That's going to be my goal. When we start in September with doing the themed months, awesome idea. I love it. You guys really love it. It's so much fun. We've included so many new games that I have never tried before in the last couple months than we have in the entire history of the channel. And it's done really great things. It's interesting. It's fun. It's pulled in new people who are like, hey, what's going on here? Oh, cool. Look at all these animal games. Awesome. It's really, really fun for us because I don't know about you guys, but I love feeling like the months have something special about them to enjoy and savor. And so working on different themed months has really, really, really helped with that, and it's been fantastic. But the problem is we run so many long play series. We run so many series where there's no end. There's sandbox series, Sims, sandbox, Minecraft, sandbox, mini Sim series, sandbox series. They just can keep going and going and going. Even Slime Rancher's kind of like that. Stardew Valley is like that. We only, I think like Abzu, which I need to finish, like, there's not really any series we have, Animal Crossing, Sandbox, it could keep going on forever, that have a predefined start, middle, and finish. We don't really do those series because those aren't really the kind of games I enjoy. I enjoy open sandbox games where they can go on forever and ever and ever. And that's why I love role-playing on forums, because you can take like the world that you've enjoyed for so long and the book ended and you can carry it on. That's why I love books that have super long series. That's why I love things that have sequel after sequel after sequel. But it's exhausting as the creator to have that on you. So what I'm trying to say is we're going to start creating our own seasons in a lot of our long play series. To use a random example, say like the 101 Dalmatians, just as a totally random example, don't take this as like something we might actually do, but we would probably have a seasonal arc where we would end season 1 when either, like, say the next generation of puppies is born, generation 3 puppies is born, and we would end season 1 and then we would take a break. Not because I don't love 101 Dalmatians, not because I don't want to have more 101 Dalmatians, not because I want to let the hype for 101 Dalmatians die, but because that would give me time to take a breather. And I'm learning, and it's been a very hard, exhausting lesson that I've really fought every step of the way against. Everyone who loves me and knows me and has tried to take care of me in this knows that I have fought this every step of the way. I'm blushing because I know I've fought it. But I'm learning that even if you really love a project and it's precious to you and you really want to keep going forever and ever into the distance with it, sometimes you have to just take it and put it to the side for a minute, step over, take a breath, try some new things, and then you can come back to it with so much more abundance of energy than if you just kept your nose to the grindstone constantly and never let up. And I'm learning that's my problem with how I do things on the channel, is that my nose is always down. I'm always just chugging away, chugging away, chugging away. There is never a break from so many of our long playing series, but I keep adding in new series because I really want to try them out and share those adventures with you. And then I get really into them, and then I don't know, when do you stop a series that's just open-ended? When do you go, okay, this is enough Animal Crossing for now, we'll come back when? Like, you have to make those things up yourself. So that's what I've been learning, is that I'm going to start doing more seasons where it may not be a number of episodes, but it may be where I just have a predefined goal. And I'm so nervous that people would be so upset. They'd be like, no, I want to have more. I want to have more now. But I'm learning that I can't listen to that request anymore. I can't just drop everything that I'm doing. I can't drop my health. I can't drop all of the other projects I'm trying to work on. I can't drop like going on a walk with Chips. I can't drop spending an hour on the phone with my mom. All things that I have put to the side before when I see requests for series in the comments. And gone, oh, okay, I really want to make sure that we can have a happy community, so I didn't really have time for this tonight. I was kind of going to work on cleaning like this thing, or I was going to work on making some more clay things for the Etsy shop, but man, I see so many people asking for Wolf Quest. Maybe I should just stop everything I'm doing, and I've got to stop doing that, because then I rob myself artistically, and I go in to try to work on some of our deeper projects, or I go in to try to complete tasks that we've put off forever on series we've wanted to do, and I don't have it in me to work on it because there's nothing left. I've scraped everything out. So that's where I am. That's where I've come to. That's where I am. And I know so many of you have messaged me, emailed me, contacted me, tweeted me, sent me snail mail, so worried about me. And I think so many of you are going to be throwing up your hands in the air and going, finally, Seri. And so many of you are going to be, does this mean, so what does this mean? Like, I just want to know, where's WolfQuest? And you're telling me all this stuff about like your mental well-being, and that's nice and all, but where is it? Well, this is what's going to happen. We are going to have more defined series for a lot of our long plays. And that are going to give me, even if I love the series, it means it'll give me a chance to kind of catch my breath and recharge and get ready for the series to return again. Right now, I'm usually running things on a monthly basis. So we're trying out like a whole bunch of different series for the month because it's the month of October. So we did fantasy and farming, and it's been really fun. And it's been really fun just to try out different things, pick them up, drop them if we need to early on, and then try new things and just know that it's going to be over in October. Farm for Your Life, this first season, and I'm calling it a season now instead of like the game's over. This first season of Farm for Your Life will be done at the end of October so that it can free me up for the tidal wave of games that is coming out in November. And then on the spur of a moment, I realized that there was a fantasy pack in Wildlife Park 2. So we're having daily Wildlife Park 2 until the end of October. And knowing that there's a hard end to those things gave me so much mental peace in recording them, because I know that I can enjoy it for what it is. It gives me more focus on getting goals done in that particular series for that time. And then knowing that we can shift gears and we can try out something new in November is really fun too. So right now, what I'm trying to say is that things are mostly set up on a monthly schedule. We'll have different seasons for a series, and if a series is going to have a season, I might start calling it like Animal Crossing, for instance. Maybe next month we will play Animal Crossing more or less every day for mushroom season. So we would call it like the mushroom season of our Animal Crossing Let's Play. And then once I collect all of the mushroom furniture, or I find all of the mushrooms, something like that, I might take a brief break from Animal Crossing and just kind of gently tuck it to the side unless I had free time or something. But even that I'm going to have to kind of clamp down on a little bit because I don't have free time. If I say I have free time, I'm lying. So I'm going to like tuck Animal Crossing to the side, and then we would work on another project for a little while, or finish up like another season of something else, or start a short like experimental play of like maybe an app game or something fun just to add in some variety. And then we would come back to Animal Crossing, say in December, and we would be like, yay, okay, it's December and now it's winter in Animal Crossing, and we might have like the Winter Forest arc or something. We would name that season like Winter Forest. And then it would keep going either till a certain number of episodes, or it would keep going till I reach a certain goal, and then we might have another brief break. And that's just a random example because I love Animal Crossing. It's very relaxing. I could see myself playing that every day. Or Stardew Valley is a great example. We might continue on with Stardew Valley till we have our baby. And then when our baby is born, we might put it to the side because November is going to be a tidal wave of games, and then come back and have season 2, which would be raising the family in Stardew Valley. And then we might put it to the side and we might come back and we might have a new challenge or a new goal that we'll try to reach in Stardew Valley, like getting the blue chickens from Shane. That would be amazing if I could get the blue chickens. So that's what I mean, like the long play things, the long play, zoo crafting, Stardew Valley, Sims. We might start changing it so that the seasons go, if not with the number of episodes, with certain goals that we kind of go over. And then once that goal is reached, we'll take a break from it, not because I don't love it, but because it'll give me a chance to try out new things, take a breath, and then come back and move into that series, especially if it is appropriate for a themed month, for instance. So like, I could see Dog Sled Saga going pretty much all winter. So I might be playing Dog Sled Saga from December until February. And we could have a fun time with that. But then we would come back like next winter again with it. So those are just really random examples. I don't really have anything set in stone yet. But I wanted to let you guys know that's kind of where my thought process is, so that I'll have the time to hang out with my beloved chips. I'll have the time to call my mom. I'll have the time to work on stuff to sell in the Etsy store if I wanted to. I'll have the time to come up with the creative quiet and space, and I haven't felt the lack of, pretty much just when we were on vacation a couple times, have I finally felt the lack of exhaustion when I go to bed at night. Right now, the way my life is currently set up with all of this, I go to bed exhausted and feeling disappointed because there's absolutely no physical possible way that I could ever do everything on my to-do list the way it's set up right now. And I don't think that's a healthy way to live in the long term. So I'm trying to address all of those things because taking care of me, as weird as it sounds to say, is how I can turn around and take care of you guys by giving you guys the adventures you really want to see. So that's the plan. That's the plan. And I'm going to create seasons for our episodes that I am going to have to, I mean, I love you guys, but when 3/4 of all the comments are like, where is a certain series all the time, it's a little bit overwhelming. And again, it's not a bad thing. It's just making me know that the time when it used to be like a slumber party where everybody was hanging out in the campfire in my backyard, we're all camping together in my backyard, and I would just take requests. That's kind of going to have to shift so that we're more organized now, just for my own ability to get things done. So yeah, that's kind of gonna be what you'll see. And not all of the series that we have as long plays might go on that seasonal basis. Like, I don't really see myself taking a break from Zoo Crafting and Star Stable. They might go down on frequency to adjust space for other series, but they wouldn't stop the way that we kind of have Sims 4 on pause until City Living comes out. So speaking of which, November is going to be chaotic. November is just a tsunami of new stuff coming out, and it's going to be pretty amazing. And what we can do with this new kind of flexible schedule with hard stops of certain series temporarily and the themed months is we can celebrate that new stuff. On November 1st, City Living comes out, for instance, for Sims 4, and I'm very excited about that. And then on November 8th, we have Skytree Village coming out. Personally, I'm more of a fan of like the Story of Seasons kind of Let's Plays, but I did want to try it out. So we have Skytree Village because I do love Harvest Moon games. And then on, I don't remember, the 10th is Planet Coaster. So Planet Coaster is coming out and it looks absolutely stunning. On the 11th is Pokemon Sun and Moon. I'm pretty sure I've forgotten some things. Meadow comes out, I think, this week. And like that's a ton of new stuff that we have to play. And to celebrate the new stuff for some of the big series like Pokemon Sun and Moon and for like City Living, when they come out, I want to have a whole week where we just do a daily episode, and then it'll switch into like every other day so that people aren't too behind or overwhelmed. That's the other benefit of having seasons, is if we have a series that goes on for a super long time, if it stops now and then, it gives people a chance to kind of catch up, catch their breath, and then jump back in when we begin the new season. And I think that would be very helpful for everything and everybody, I hope. So I know a lot of this probably other people already do, and it's kind of awkward because I just sort of had to bumble into this and go, oh man, I just can't handle all of this. I have to come up with something that works. But that's my inner thoughts on what I want to start trying to do. And I'm sorry if that was really weird and like, I don't know what I just talked about for half an hour, but I hope it was something that maybe some of you guys would appreciate listening to. The why behind how we do things and how much I love and care about what we do, and I'm really looking forward to all of this stuff in November. But we're going to talk more about the games that we'll play in November next week, because it's, like I said, it's a tsunami of stuff, and I would love to hear about what you guys are looking forward to. So it's definitely a learning experiment. It's kind of terrifying to have to change everything all the time and have a learning experiment when there's like 91,000 of you guys now. I'm not a professional. I'm just somebody who loves telling stories and adventures and telling you guys about the natural world. And I'll do my best. That's what these vlogs are for, is to let you guys know I'm doing my best and I'm figuring it out as we go. And especially from those of you who leave such amazing, thoughtful comments. On that note, though, I have had from especially our older members now who have been around for a long time and are about my age and have always been a really precious sounding board of understanding to me. And I've had a lot of messages from you guys how the comment section doesn't quite feel the same anymore. Not in a bad way, just the kind of atmosphere, that especially the age range, I can tell because I can look at analytics, has changed significantly. And I just wanted to say that I totally understand if you're just here for the adventures. I totally understand if you only have time to like watch a couple things, you're 11, 12 years old, you've got homework, you've got all these things that are going on in your life. That's awesome. Our community kind of came from a more high age group target from the beginning, and it just sort of has like zipped all around the place as I try out all sorts of different things, because I'm not afraid to try out like games that would presumably be for kids. Often I find that's the easiest way to actually educate a younger audience, is to kind of be where they want to be. You know what I mean? But I wanted to let all of you who are a little bit older know I'm going to make more of an effort for myself, my heart, about putting more vlogs out. Not to really entertain, but just to have this kind of like laid back communication, chat, talk. Here's my random adult problems going on in my life, and then hearing like your guys' solutions and experiences with that. That's one of the most precious things I've ever had out of our channel. Talking to some of the older members who share my life experiences in their own lives, who share like my concerns about like student loan bills, or like how do you convince your landlord to come down and actually double, triple check the vents already when you've called them in for maintenance like 6 times in the last month. Those kinds of really random adult things I'm going to put over on the channel, and also the nice walks. The nice walks to look at the mushrooms. Chips and I found a jiggly mushroom in the forest yesterday, and he cracked up poking it with a stick because it just jiggled like a jigglypuff or something. It was like, is that what happens if you poke a jigglypuff with a stick? It's just like boing. It was really funny, but I miss that connection, the actual connection with the community, and like being able to recognize usernames and being able to talk with people, and I miss that. And I understand that the way our community has shifted and the kind of audience we've attracted, we don't really get that in our videos anymore, our gameplay videos. So I'm going to try to really, for my heart and for that community, go and start working on the vlog channel again, and just getting out silly little random vlogs to just chit chat now and then. We used to just have tea, like with these update vlogs, we would just have tea and I would just talk about really, really random things, and I always am getting distracted by the birds in the window or the birds behind me. That's not a new thing. And it was really nice to just know that you guys were listening, that I would have so many comments from people saying it was just really nice to have an unscripted human voice talking to them for a while. And so I think that's where it's more appropriate to kind of shift that tone and shift that community is over to the vlog channel, so that this will, like I said, it's not like that's where the campfire will be for the backyard, like come and bring your own tent sleepover sort of feeling. I'll shift that to the vlog channel because I think that we've just reached a point that I didn't really know was coming, and now it's here, where things are going to be a little bit more tightly organized, and I hesitate to say professional because, well, I'm me. You never know what's going to happen. I make it very distracted. But it's a different vibe, and I just wanted to acknowledge that and let you guys know that I miss it too. It's not a bad thing. It's just different. It's just the way that things change. And I'm so grateful for those changes. It's changed my family's life. It's changed my life. It's changed who I think I am and how I live and how I interact with the world. And it's really surreal to have everybody talking about the fact that we're coming up on a milestone that I really thought would take many more years to get to, and I'll get emotional if I think about it. But if you guys know what I should do for 100,000 people, which we may see in the next few months, then let me know, because it's something I'll talk about with how deeply that would affect me later and why it would affect me that way later. So I'll tell you guys about that later. But if you have any ideas, let me know, because right now I'm thinking maybe 2 Q&A videos would be kind of fun. One for the people who've been around for a long time and one for brand new people. And so it'd be really fun to kind of take like 2 sets of questions and have like all these questions about who are you? Who's Chips? What are those things in the background? Are those birds? Like, are you really Hawaiian? Like, those kinds of questions for new people. And then, like, deeper questions or sillier questions or kind of, like, Easter eggy fan questions tucked into the video for people who have been around for a super long time. I think that'd be really fun. But, you know, we'll have to see. Maybe I could get Chips to go to the zoo with me. We could feed giraffes! We could feed giraffes! Oh, that would be a wonderful way to celebrate. So, yeah. All right, well, yeah, there was a little bit to talk about this time, because it's been a lot of, this is about managing your own emotions, and that's because you're providing emotions. You are an emotional performer, and I didn't know that was what this was when I started either. So yeah, that's where we're at, and that's where I'm at, and that's where hopefully the future of the channel will be too. And you know what? I promised myself this would only be 20 minutes, and now it's 40. So I will leave off the other chattering and the more emotional chattering. It'll start shifting over to the vlog channel. So if you guys want to come and eat some virtual s'mores around our campfire and just talk about laid back things in life, that's where we can do that. And I hope you can sit back, relax, enjoy, and buckle in as the tsunami of November's games come up. And I hope that you can find some understanding in why I'm going to be coming to where I am, where we have to just stop certain series for a time, even if we all love them, so that we can bring in some new stuff. Because with like 5 new games coming out next month, we're gonna have to make some wiggle room. So yeah. And don't hesitate to talk about like where things are in this video, because that's exactly what this is for. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. I'm gonna go make some new tea because I think they got bird water in my tea. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.